All right, here we go. Carver and Cuthbert Go Sports Radio. Coming at you from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Happy President's Day. Holiday today. It is a holiday. And you're probably sitting there wondering, the hell are you guys doing? It's Monday. Well, you got to follow along. Different schedule this week. Monday and Friday instead of Wednesday and Thursday. Why? Kids are off this week. There's other things going on. We have this over here, that over there, that blah, 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 blah. Either way, we're here to go. Big weekend. Lots of Olympic hockey to talk about. Apparently, people actually watched the NBA All-Star game. I didn't, but judging by the amount of people that I saw tweeting about it, obviously people watched, which was stunning. We have a few other things to discuss as well. There was some great college basketball this weekend. There's a couple NFL stories that have come out this morning. A lot to get to. Mike Carver along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Good afternoon, Michael. Happy President's Day to you and to all those who celebrate.
Yeah.
And a big happy week to all the teachers and the students.
The teachers and the students who are off school, at least in our neck of the woods.
Yes, rip it up.
Down here on the island, as they like to say. They are doing that. It is a happy Monday here. And I kind of, sometimes Mondays are fun sometimes to do these because you have so much that you could talk about that just happened over the weekend. And there are several things that I want to get to. I will let you know right now because we're going to talk Olympic hockey, but the women are playing. The U.S. women are playing right now, Paulie, as they have their semifinal match against Sweden, I believe. And they are up 5-0 in the second period.
That's pretty damn good against the Swedes.
So they're up 5-0. Canada will play Switzerland in the other semi later today. Where do you think this is heading, Paulie, for the women's gold medal game?
Man, now look, everybody, don't quote me on this, but I think it's going to be USA Canada for the gold medal.
And that would be Thursday. They give them 2 days off, and they'll play Thursday for the gold medal.
I think that's also being prearranged on the other side for the men's too. So we'll talk about that.
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
Which
is what we're going. There was a little. This was a little fugazi the way that they came up with this order of seeding for the knockout round of the men's. But let's start there today, because we did watch these teams play over the weekend. The group stage is over now at the men's Olympic hockey tournament. The United States and Canada both go 3-0. Both go 3-0 with really, Paulie, not a lot of resistance. They were the only two teams to go 3-0, which means they are the 1 and 2 seeds heading into the knockout round. And what does that mean in the big picture? That means they are on a collision course for the gold medal game. They cannot meet before that. They would only meet for the gold in this Olympics in Milan. Now, there are other things around it. First of all, let's talk about these two squads before we get into me belly aching about how they do the knockout round.
I'm going to belly ache too, Michael. Today's a day of belly aching.
Good. We're going to do a lot of belly aching then today, which people like sometimes. People like belly aching. It happens from time to time. I watched both United States. I actually watched both U.S. games. I watched both Canada games Friday and Sunday, and I watched the United States Saturday and Sunday. Canada's stupid good. They really are. And you know who's impressed me the most is Celebrini. Now, look, I know what you're probably thinking. You could put anybody with David and on that line, and they're gonna shine. I understand that thought process, but for him to be the youngest guy there, I mean, it's super impressive. How that penalty shot he had yesterday's game was sick. I've been super impressed with Celebrini, just getting to watch him on this big stage.
Yeah, and I think just on the bigger picture, being hockey fans, as far as the NHL is concerned, if we look back, going back, if you want to go back to Lemieux and Gretzky, and then you'd see Crosby and Ovechkin, and then you see like McKinnon and McDavid.
Yeah.
And then, you could talk about either Kiprusoff and Celebrini and, all these kids coming in,
right.
Bedard, it's great, Laviolette. I mean, not Laviolette, Lafreniere, unfortunately, not part of that group as far as number one draft picks making an impact on the league. But it's great to have this, every 10 or 8-10 years, these new talents that come in and just the torch just keeps getting handed, which I think is just great. And it is great to see him on this stage. And unfortunately, there's a couple of younger kids that also deserve to be on this Olympic stage. And unfortunately,
yeah, look,
not enough room on the teams.
Look, I think that the two guys, Canada, I don't know if U.S. maybe would, but with Canada, obviously, Bedard on Chicago is good enough to be on this team, and they just have some guys. Remember, there's a lot of veterans that this is their first time getting a crack at this. Some of the older guys on the team, and I know, I think if Schaefer would have been with him, he would have been just as impressive as Celebrini's been. But I don't mind him getting a couple weeks off.
Let's be honest, right? The NHL game is the top game in the world.
Yeah,
and yes, this is the Olympic stage, but come on, France, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, they're playing, as they say, beer league teams almost.
Well, look, that was embarrassing yesterday because Canada laid it on France, and they kind of had to because they wanted to secure one as opposed to two. So they had the team that they were able to really, they could rub it in on, and France got smashed in that game, and they scored 10 goals. And I thought the United States had the weaker group between them and Canada. And the one thing that I think hurt the United States and why they're, 2 instead of 1, if you want to look at the paths or whatever, and they couldn't drop a 10 spot on anybody, is I felt like in all of their games, it was very slow starts in all their games. Like it took them a period and a half before they really got moving and looked good offensively. That was the one thing that I kind of noticed. And whereas it seems like the United States team is really driven by the Tkachuk brothers and Eichel, and Matthews had a couple goals yesterday, and you haven't seen much, and that's kind of the way they designed it was for those third and fourth lines to not necessarily be piling up the points like Canada's third and fourth line is. All the lines on Canada are piling up the points. The United States has really been driven by the Tkachuks and Eichel and Austin Matthews so far. The slow starts, I get you want to whatever. I mean, it was wiffle ball. I don't think that there's anything you could be that quote unquote out or that worried about in all of those aspects. But I'm not too concerned now that it's knockout round and I actually think it helps them that they're going to get the tougher game in the quarters than Canada will because they're going to they're going to play Sweden in the quarters. They are. And call that luck of the draw, call it whatever you want. It's unfortunate the way that they did these seedings that, Sweden really should be the 5th or 6th seed, and instead they're the 7th because of these dopey ways that they do it.
Yeah.
And that lines them up with the United States. They win tomorrow and they play them on Wednesday. So,
maybe it's kind of balanced out with the U.S. having the easier group stage. Not that Canada had any issues on their side. And then people are, saying, hey, it's the Finns and the Swedes. It's been more difficult for them. But as far as now advancing on, Canada is going to get to the gold medal round where it might be a little more difficult for the U.S. to get there or get past Sweden or Finland.
Yeah, that's the hard part about all of it right now for them is, watching these other teams, I did think that like Germany would have a little bit more than they showed. I thought the Czechs would have a little bit more than they showed.
Yeah.
Slovakia, of course, they were the big surprise by technically winning that group with Finland and Sweden, and they're now the 3 in the qualification. So there's been some surprises, but Sweden, I guess, surprising because they didn't, they're kind of buried here now. And Sweden and Finland both got to play the extra game here. Or Finland finish 4th, right? Finland gets the 4th spot. So they don't have to play the extra game.
United States playing either.
Finland got a bye too. So Finland got the 4. Sweden's the only one of the huge NHL teams, the NHL full teams that has to play the extra game.
So just remind me again, if U.S. is going to play who in the next round?
U.S. will play the winner of the Sweden versus Sweden is playing. Give me 1 second. Sweden, Latvia.
Okay, so
They're playing Sweden.
Let's all assume Sweden is going.
Playing Sweden.
Yes.
Like that's really the only game of these games on Tuesday. And the way it works now is Tuesday you have 4 qualification games. That's the teams that are 5 through 12 will play on Tuesday. The top 4 teams had a bye into Wednesday. So that's obviously Canada, the United States, Slovakia, and Finland. They all get a day off, an extra day. They'll play Wednesday. And then you have these matchups coming through tomorrow, which are Czechs against Denmark, Sweden against Latvia, Germany against France, Switzerland against Italy. Those are your 4 games on Tuesday that decide. And way it works, Paulie, is those games, you are slotted to a specific opponent, and then the semis are reseeded. So let's say Canada wins their quarter. They're going to play whoever's the lowest seeded team left.
Mm-hmm.
It is not bracket style at that point. They do go by the seeds in the semis to make sure that Canada gets an advantage of being the one they're going to play whoever's. Now, it could be a 4. It could be if all the top 4 seeds win, they would play Finland, and the United States would play Slovakia, and they get a break there. But I actually kind of listen, you're going to have to play these teams no matter what. I actually don't think it's the worst thing that instead of getting potentially another wiffle ball game on Wednesday, U.S. is going to get Sweden.
I'm just looking at the Swedish
off of playing the day before. So they're going to get Sweden on the second day of a back-to-back. U.S. will be fresh. And you got to beat them anyway. Whether it's the quarters or the semis, you were going to play a really good team before Canada. And now they're going to get it here.
Sweden has a really good defensive core.
They're a really good team. They actually really
Hedman, Carlson,
they should know. They didn't play well in the group stage. They really didn't.
So this is what I want to get into with you. As far as Canada's, they're in, okay?
Right.
United States, they're going to have a little tougher hurdle here to get there. And I think I'll just say my concern about the United States, and I know how and why they're built, right? They're built pretty much the same way they were built in the 4 nations. Okay. And
yeah,
plus.
Yeah, but our audio is still good, Paulie. So we will take a break, and we will come back and we will get everything going here. I know that's amazing how that stuff happens, right?
That is weird. Looks like we're locked up on the video side.
We're locked up on the video side, but the audio has been working. So listen, let's get this. We're going to get all this zeroed in. So we'll come back, Paulie. We'll take a break, or Paulie might just hit refresh.
I think that's
as we're down, as we're down here at Borrelli's. That might be all that Paulie needs to do, is to get it back going.
Let's go for it. If anything, we'll just turn everything back on. Here we go.
All right. Well, we are gonna go for it, and whatever happens, we will turn everything back. Hey,
is that us?
I think so.
I think that's all we needed.
I think that might have been all you needed. So that's what I mean. That's
something. Some help in the chat there. Let's see what's going on.
Let's see. John's watching. Let's
Johnny.
see if John's got us back.
Johnny,
now.
you got us out there, John.
Oh yeah, I've got the live feed here. We'll see if it.
So just
look at that. See it went blue like you did. You hit the refresh. It went blue, and then it's gonna pop back up. This is live on the move. This is how you know some shows are live and some shows are taped. You see, and then it just pops right back up like we weren't even there.
So we're good.
We were never gone. Now,
so
go ahead.
United States,
yes,
structured the same way that was structured for the 4 nations.
Sure,
it's more of I would say, a defensive structure to try and squeeze out
correct
the Canadian onslaught.
Right,
and this is the problem. They've got multiple lines.
Yes,
of offense to come at you, even their 4th line. And then you talk about the goaltending. Bennington's going to be fine. He's done fine. And plus, like I said, you have that there too. And that's my concern. I'm not impressed about the goals that the U.S. are putting up against Germany. They're supposed to do that,
Yeah.
But against this Swedish team, who's got some offensive power too, it will be a good test to see how I think you're right. It's a good mark for them, but it's definitely not a cakewalk for them.
For the United States.
Not for the United States.
Well, I was just going to bring this up to you. Like now that we know the scenarios, there's actually a really strong chance that the U.S. would have to play Sweden on Wednesday, and then Finland on Friday, and then Canada on Sunday. Whereas Canada, look, here's where that scenario comes into play. That happens if so Slovakia is going to play the winner of the Germany-France game. So Germany and France are going to play tomorrow. Germany's going to win. We'll give you a little listen, France and Italy, they are far and away the 2 lower teams in this. They're the 11th and 12th. They don't have any of the NHL. Germany, you would think Draisaitl alone should get Germany through that game tomorrow morning. You would like to think. If Germany beats Slovakia, not out of the question, Okay, not out of the question in the quarters. That would mean they're going to be the lowest team if everything else holds form. And then Canada gets Germany in the semis, and the United States got to play Finland. So Canada's going to end up now. Let me ask you: does this help?
I don't see Slovakia losing that game against Germany.
Just stay in a maybe.
Okay.
Now, if Slovakia wins that game and the United States win, there's no way around it. It's United States Slovakia Friday in the semis.
Okay.
No, and then the people say, well, the United States got the United States like Sweden on Wednesday. So everyone except seemingly Canada is going to have to play somebody of significance. So I'll ask it to you this way: if it goes that path and the U.S. has to get through Sweden and get through potentially Finland on Friday, and Canada's playing, the Czechs and Germany on Wednesday and Friday, does U.S. have, because they got to play a little bit better teams coming in, do they got a little bit more, burn, or is this, because it could be all wiffle ball for Canada going into that game?
Look, I've said this from the beginning before the Olympics, and I'll say it today. I don't see how, no matter what, I don't see Canada losing this. They're going to win the gold. I just don't see the United States
I think the U.S. could beat them.
I don't think so.
Now, it would take a Herculean effort from Hellebuck in goal. Look, they beat them.
I do like the rhythm. If they get there and they have to play those extra games against better teams, I do agree with you. I do like that rhythm, and I think it gives them a little bit of an advantage, because I think on the other side,
because those are going to be tough games.
Yes, but I still think that lineup on Canada, Coach Coop, I don't
think they're going to lose.
I
will tell you this: I could see the United States losing before Sunday and not playing Canada.
I do.
I see no chance Canada loses before Sunday.
No way.
They're playing in that game.
No way. There'd have to be an average.
Question is, will we get the United States with them? And that's what everyone wants. This is like, it would be such a buzzkill if it's not USA Canada with all this build up
for Americans.
I honestly think even like hockey. I mean, this is what obviously, if you live in Sweden, you want to see Sweden get there. And if you live in Finland, you want to see Finland get there.
As a hockey fan, if Canada ends up playing Finland or Sweden, I'm going to watch that gold medal game and just
8:00 on Sunday morning, by the way.
Breakfast, baby.
Breakfast, the gold medal on Sunday. Yeah. East Coast, it's 8 a.m. East on Sunday is the gold.
I'm huge fans of all those guys on the Canadian team. And to me, like seeing if Crosby and McDavid and Kinnan can all get gold medals, bravo, man.
All right.
And I'm not trying to be anti-American here. I just seen it how it is on paper here and just the talent level. And I just don't think the Kachuk brothers and the physicalness and all that other stuff. No, I mean,
John says, remember, Bennington still sucks.
Yes. But can they get to Bennington? That's the problem.
Well, look, I do believe the only team that could beat Canada in this is the United States. And maybe that's just me being an American and wanting to see them beat them.
I agree
that's
with
maybe very true. I look at it as, I've watched Sweden play a couple games. Yes, they have all NHL talent cover to cover. I don't think that they could slow down. Finland also has NHL talent cover to cover. I don't think that they would slow down Canada. The United States, like we've mentioned 1,000 times, has built their team to try to slow down Canada. And I think they also have the goalie,
And Canada knows that. And they adjusted their lineup to match what the United States is trying to do. And it's definitely carrying over from the Four Nations. Well, and in the end,
look, remember,
I just think guys like McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby.
Now this has happened.
They're all going to find spots to put the puck in the net.
This happened last year at the Four Nations. It happened at the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. It's happened before. And last year, U.S. did beat him once. The problem is they beat him in a game that didn't matter, and then they lost to him in the game that mattered. Exactly. Same thing in 2010 in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. U.S. beat him in the game that didn't matter, lost to him in the Crosby golden goal game that did matter in the gold medal. So
I think that's been part of Canada's game plan. Let them win the first one.
Well, maybe. Well, now there's only going to be one if they play, and it's just going to be one game, and I like that.
Well, I think the Four Nations games were the prelim for this.
Because it's basically the same team. It's basically
the same squads.
Other than Celebrini, but these are pretty much the same exact teams from a year ago.
And the United States left a lot of offense off.
I know, but it hasn't hurt them yet. They've scored 5-6 goals in every game against who they're playing. I get it, but
two of them have come from the defenseman, that is only getting 4 minutes a game.
But listen, it doesn't matter because if they play them on Sunday and they beat them, it's gonna be their top 6 guys. It's gonna be the Kachucks. It's gonna be Eichel. It's gonna be Matthews. It's gonna be It's gonna be those top 6 guys. They're not gonna go into that game expecting JT Miller, to be the guy that scores the goals. They're just not. They're looking for him to slow down Canada on the other side.
Yeah, here's another different part of it too. The Olympic game, as far as how it's refereed, it's different from the NHL. I don't know if guys.
That Canada game was getting a lot of control yesterday at France.
Yeah, well, that's
the McKinnon hit with only gave him a 2-minute minor.
I know, but I don't. What I'm saying is, I don't think where in the NHL the whistles go in the pocket. I don't think that's going to happen here.
I don't think it's going to happen here either.
So guys like who are brought in here for their toughness, their brawn and everything.
Okay.
But they don't need Wilson. Wilson's there as a insurance policy, and it was a great pick. And he's actually a damn good forward, to be honest.
That's the one thing that gets kind of lost with him is that
Wilson's a great
he actually can play. He just gets painted as a goon, but he has skill. He has offensive talent. He's not the offensive talent that McKinnon and
so
McDavid
if a guy
are,
like Matthews, who's always ends up being a ghost in the games that matter, and we know
2 goals yesterday.
Come on, the game doesn't matter.
But I think that's good to see because he's had some time where he's done nothing. Maybe he's got a little confidence there with a little 2-goal game against Germany. Good. All right, who you got? Men's Olympic hockey tournament. Who you got? You ready?
I'm ready.
Tuesday, qualification games. I'm going to give you those, and then whoever you pick to win, I'm going to tell you who they play on Wednesday. All right?
Okay.
And you tell me who you got for it. First, the Czechs against Denmark. Czechs and Denmark will play on Tuesday. The Czechs, of course, have Pasternak and Nashis. And that Denmark team, when you saw them play the United States on Saturday, I guess that was the first that game. They're a big body team. They got some big guys that clog the area up. They have a couple of NHL guys. But for me, Paulie, it's still, I'm going to go with the talent. The Czechs just have a little bit more in terms of scoring. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, though. Czechia. But I'll keep it easy. I call them the Czechs.
I'm with you. Czechs, too.
That means then the Czechs would play Canada. The winner of that game plays Canada. And we already saw the Czechs play Canada, and it didn't go very well.
It's not going to go well the second time around either.
So who you got? We've got the Czechs beating Denmark, and then Canada beating the winner of that game to get to Friday.
Same team, me and you.
Germany versus France, early tomorrow morning. Draisaitl.
I might have to look at the scouting report.
It's Germany. Germany's not going to lose that game. France and Italy have no shot of winning games. They just don't.
All right, so we both take Germany. What's the next?
Germany then would play Slovakia.
I will take Slovakia. I know you like Germany.
I will take the upset. I think Germany will beat Slovakia.
They didn't have it, man. They don't have it.
I think Germany beats Slovakia. And I've been very impressed with what Slovakia has done. That was a huge upset that they had against Finland. That was an unbelievable win for them. I think that Germany will upset them.
Okay.
Because these things are never going to go right in the order. Something crazy is going to happen. And I think that Germany beating Slovakia in that quarterfinal game is what's going to be.
The Finns, man. I don't think they have any problem here.
We'll see. Swiss against Italy, as we said. Italy's got no shot. Although that kid playing goal for them, and I don't know his name off the top of my head. So he's been on. I know. Now you look at the scores and you go, what do you mean? He's had to make like 50 saves in every game.
He's exhausted. And
I saw someone tweet, can we get this guy an NHL deal? He actually was drafted by the Ducks. He's in the Ducks system. That kid from Italy, he's like the first Italian-born goaltender who's been drafted in the end. So he's in the Anaheim Ducks system, that kid playing goal for Italy. So maybe we will see him sometime down the road in the NHL. Good for that kid.
So we both got the Swiss.
And the Swiss would then play Finland on Wednesday.
Finns.
Now, I know, but I'm going to tell you, this Swiss team,
come on, Mike.
The Swiss team, they are stingy. I would be careful. They held Canada to 5 goals.
I think Canada held back.
I don't know about that. This Swiss team has got a couple players.
All right, so You gonna take the Swiss?
I'm going to take Finland to win. But I'm just saying.
Okay. I feel better now.
I'm just saying.
I admire your respect for them and
I
giving them some
respect the
credit.
Swiss team.
Yeah,
I think
do
that
too.
they will. In fact, I'll make you. Here's what I'll go a little step further. Finland beats them in overtime. I think it'll be a real tight game, and they're going to need extra to take the Swiss out. That's going to be a tough game for Finland. The Swiss will push them.
I agree. It'll be a good game. I do.
So
I don't think it'll go to overtime though. I think the Finns will handle it.
And then the other game on Tuesday, Sweden against Latvia.
Man,
We can't lose to Latvia.
no, I know. I'm just a great little country going for
The
it.
Latvians,
Just
they're a great little
going
country.
for it and
They're a
getting
great
in
little
there.
country, the Latvians.
Yeah.
Sweden's going to win.
Yes.
And then Sweden would play the United States on Wednesday. And that is the last game, 3:00 East on Wednesday is when the United States plays Sweden. They're going to play Sweden on Wednesday. I would love to play in Latvia. If Latvia could pull off that upset, it'd be great. But
we're going to stay here and watch the game or what? What are we doing?
We're not here Wednesday.
No, Friday.
Oh, Friday. So Friday, yeah. I think I want to work that out. Although I think I have to do the show at 4:00.
Well, you could do it here. Everything's set up.
That is true. I could just keep the back right here and go and do it. That would mean, according to what? So then USA versus Sweden on Wednesday. That's gonna be tough.
I think it's just terrible that I can't just go USA right away.
I think USA wins, but like my Swiss-Finland prediction, I think it's going to be a super tight game that could go to overtime.
All right, I'm gonna stick with the boys to win that game.
I am too, but it ain't gonna be 5-1. It's gonna be you're gonna be sweating on Wednesday watching United States and Sweden, sweating,
which is terrible.
I think it's gonna be a nail biter. That is gonna be a tough game, and I wish that. You know what? I'm hopeful you're right and Slovakia wins the other game because they could use a break on Friday and play Slovakia. But I think they're going to have to play Sweden and then Finland on Friday because I think Germany is going to beat Slovakia. So I think Canada, Germany, USA, Finland on Friday. You think Canada, Finland, USA, Slovakia on Friday. That's your prediction. Now, Friday we will be here before actually we'll probably be on when the first semi is happening.
Yes.
And then I would think that they'll play if the United States win again, they'll play them at 3:00. They've played every game at 3:00 East so far, which is 9:00 in Milan. I saw that belly aching too from your boy Sully. You know, every game we're getting back to the rooms at 1:30 in the morning here and all that. He's been doing
tired group, not a fragile group, but a tired group.
Tired, but not a
tired group.
Tired group. Not a fragile group, but a tired group. So there you go. Who you got? Men's Olympic ice hockey tournament. It is now win or go home.
Yes, thank you. Because I turned that USA Germany game off pretty much. It was boring.
It was. I actually flipped over to the golf because I had a lot going on with the golf yesterday.
Well, we want to talk about Kim and stuff, but you want to say that later, but
I said and what Anthony Kim did late night in Live at Adelaide was just an unbelievable
great story. I wasn't aware about the whole background story.
So he basically just like disappeared off the face of the earth.
I read
he
all
was
about
at,
it.
Top of his game.
Yeah.
Was on the U.S. Ryder Cup team, all that, and then he got mixed up and went away for a very, very long time. And he went to Live. I think it was 2 years ago. He signed with Live. 2 or 3 at this point, and they brought him in because Liv's always looking. Well, they have a relegation system now, so he fell out of it after last season. And when that happens, you have to play yourself back in to the top 48 to get a spot in the season. And he played his best golf during that getting requalifying period in December, and he got himself back into Live. And now here he goes. And the amazing thing about this, and I'll try to explain this as best I can, if you're not a golf guy. He went into that final round in Australia 5 shots back of both Bryson DeChambeau and Jon Rahm, 2 of the best players in the world. 5 shots back of both of them, and went by both of them and won the golf tournament. And just an amazing scene for Anthony Kim, which was really, really cool. And Liv must love us, the most juice they've had in years. So it must listen. It's true, unfortunately, and. And that's a great tournament they do down in Adelaide, Australia. And what a moment for Anthony Kim.
Question about Liv.
Yeah.
Do Liv have tournaments on U.S. soil?
Yes,
or no,
they do.
Okay.
They go to places generally that the PGA Tour doesn't.
So there's
like
some,
last year
there's some law laid down on that.
I wouldn't say law. It's just that they're trying to like they're billing themselves now as like the world's league. Like they do play the majority, like they played in Australia last week. They're going to be in, they play a lot of stops in Asia, whether it's South Korea, they go to Japan, they go to a bunch of places, they go to South Africa, they like to go where the PGA Tour doesn't.
Okay.
And when they come to the US, like last year they played in Indianapolis and they played in, I'm going to say Houston. They played in a couple places where the PGA Tour doesn't stop. I know they've come to Jersey, what's Trump's course in Jersey? Bedminster, I guess. They've come there a couple times because the PGA Tour, and I've always cried and complained about this, they really lack the New York area. Besides going to the Travelers in Connecticut at the end of June, they don't play at, they used to go to Liberty National and they used to go to some other places.
They'll do the island a few times, won't they?
They'll go to Bethpage for big events, but a regular tour stop. There is not a regular
tour stop
every year. Every year, they're at the Travelers in Connecticut in just outside of Hartford and Cromwell. They don't have a regular New York City area. That's kind of what they try to designate as their New York cities. But I go to it every year. It's 2.5 hours away. It's not the New York City area going to the Travelers. But great job by Anthony Kim. That was really cool.
And swinging back to hockey real quick, the ladies. When's the goal game scheduled?
So the ladies who are up 5-0 on Sweden right now, and then Canada will win the game after this, and then Thursday is the gold medal game for the women. So Thursday, USA, Canada, gold medal, and that's the day off with the men's tournament. So the men's are going to play the 4 games tomorrow, 4 games Wednesday, semis Friday, gold medal Sunday. I think they play the bronze Saturday, by the way, I think. So whoever loses Friday's got to play the next day, play for the bronze.
I'm not going to watch that game.
What if it's USA Germany for the bronze?
I'm not going to watch that game.
What if it's USA Germany? Bronze medal game. Can we get a bronze medal game party? If the U.S. has to play Saturday, Mike, can we get a bronze medal party down here?
Yeah.
When they unfortunately have to play Finland on Friday instead of Slovakia. So they're going to end up that way. So there you go.
So have you been watching other events at the Olympics?
Let's do that, and then we'll do the break, and then I'll start. Yes. So let's talk about this real fast before we take a break. Or do you talk about Borrelli's? Can you believe how much controversy with the curling? What is going on there?
Cheating Canadians.
You can't put your finger on the stone when you let it go, and they're all saying they didn't do it. They're all cheating.
Cheating Canadians.
Can you believe how? And everyone said curling's not exciting. This has been the most exciting thing that's happened over there.
The U.S. squads are doing good.
They are doing good. But, man, did you like the Canadian guy yelling at the Swedish guy?
Oh, my.
F you. Get it. I got it on tape. You cheated.
The whole Canadians are nice guys.
And then the women, too. The girl touched the stone when she was letting go of it.
How?
Curling drama.
How? It's cheating and curling? Come on.
Well, if you ask them, Paulie, it was a simple mistake. They did not mean to do that. They weren't trying to touch.
It's curling. Come on.
I can't. You need this, man. A little curling rivalry. Imagine if those guys would have threw hands.
Oh,
that Canada.
Fair play to the Swedes for setting up the extra camera.
Man, that was wild.
Got him.
But other than that, I have not. Man, they can't get away from this Kelsey. Even he's at the hockey game. Is there anything this Kelsey guy doesn't go to? This Jason Kelsey, him and the wife sitting at the women's hockey game too.
They got time.
Oh my God. Never ends. Anyway,
we're Where's the medal count?
I have they're getting Norway. How about the Norwegians are like a Winter Olympics power this year?
Well, they don't do
Winning
much else
everything.
except do all the sports.
Did you watch the figure skater fall all over the ice? Did you see any of that?
No.
At least he had the stones to
country?
get. No, the United States guy.
Oh,
The
no.
guy that didn't win. He fell twice. He was like the favorite, and he
Not the kid who does the backflips.
whatever. I don't know the figure skating, but the guy who at least he stood up and had the stones to get up there and say, I fell. It is what it is. I forget the guy's name.
So figure skating's over. All the gold medals. They're all
I think
out?
the women are this week.
Okay.
I think they saved the women for last because that's the best prime time. Like, everybody gets
Sorry, I missed it. Sorry, I
the
missed
drama
figure skating.
with the women when they do it. But
Was watching ski jumping the other night. Really good.
the ski jumping's wild. Those guys have been enhancing themselves too, right? The
Yeah.
ski jumpers.
The slalom
There's
races.
been a controversy with the ski
Downhill's
jumpers.
been
You've had a
great.
controversy
Yeah.
with the curling. It's even on for you now here.
Speed skating's been going well.
Yeah, I'm just into now that the hockey's in the knockout round. That's really that's all I care about. And the U.S. can't win the most golds or win the most medals. They're so far behind the Norwegians now. They are just dominating these games.
Well, it's fair play to them. I mean,
Well,
that's what they do up there.
That's what
out
the
there, over there.
Scandinavian countries.
Yeah,
man.
It's snowing
it
a lot.
is-
I
it
mean,
is what it
we're
is.
all complaining here about the snow.
Oh,
We
just
got
doesn't go
another
away.
dusting last night. We can't wait for it to
Dusting.
go away.
Dusting. I had to do a quick shovel this morning outside the walkway. Dusting. I wish.
So what I'm trying to say is the Norwegians love the snow year round, right?
Yeah, they do.
We can't wait, especially us down here in Long Beach.
I know.
Let's go. Let's get back in the water.
Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio here on a Monday. Remember, Monday and Friday this week, we are live at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Paulie, why don't you let everybody know what's happening at Borrelli's here?
All right, a couple of quick things today. All right, it was a big weekend here over the weekend, Valentine's Day and USA hockey game, Germany yesterday, packed houses all around.
Big crowd for Cal
Lots
yesterday.
of live music,
Big
good
crowd.
stuff. So I'm just going to point out a couple of things. Comedy night returns. Comedy nights return here starting tomorrow night with Kat Timp. She's here tomorrow. All right, and then Wednesday the 25th, Pete Coriel is here, and then Tuesday March 10th, Ben Bankus is also going to be here as well too. So go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com or go to Eventbrite.com and search Borrelli's Taproom Comedy, and you can find out what's left. There ain't much left for those shows. So if you want to get tickets, hustle, hustle, hustle. Live music all weekend here coming up. I'll have more on Friday. We'll give everybody the big weekend. But again, go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com as far as that. The live music coming up this weekend. Theme music returns this month on Tuesday, February 24th with Billy Joel. Songs from an Italian restaurant, $21 pasta deal, half-price bottles of wine, and the greatest hits of Billy Joel. So come on down for that. And Sinatra Serenade returns the following week on Wednesday, March 4th. And there'll be more music theme nights announced. And again, for the full lineup of live entertainment, make sure you go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com. And there'll be more announcements here on Friday coming up when we come back with the show for the weekend. So there you go, pal. That's what's happening right now. Comedy's the big thing right now. A couple big shows coming up next couple of weeks. So get your tickets, come down here and laugh your butt off at Borrelli's Taproom, home of good times.
Absolutely. Carver and Cuthbert here. I was just reading this other story just to button up the Olympics for you. So a lot of people in Canada have been upset about their performance in these Olympics. Obviously not with the hockey team. The hockey team is very good, but in their other sports. Because look, and this is just like you say about Norway, and it's cold there, and they have a lot of winter sports. They should be good at a lot of winter sports, right? Canada.
It's called the Great White North.
Great White North. I saw this one news report. A big part of the problem for Canada, they were watching the bobsleds. One of the Canadian sledders had to pay $70,000 out of his pocket just to get to the Olympics. Basically, that the Olympic Federation Canada really isn't footing the bill or helping out.
Things are tight up there, man.
So $70,000 just to get yourself to the Olympics.
It's tight. I think
That
the
ain't
U.S.
easy.
ladies just scored another goal, buddy.
They're routing them. Goal differential doesn't matter now. It's win or go home. You can ease up on them. Save it all for Thursday. Save it for the gold medal game. Who do you got in that? Do they trounce them again?
USA.
They trounce Canada again?
USA. Yeah, I think our ladies they're on a mission this year, but they're backing it up, man. They're looking good. I mean, that's just an incredibly talented squad.
Yeah.
From net to
Certainly
forwards.
is. Going back to yesterday, because I heard you say this word before. And I didn't bring this up last week because they do such an awful job at marketing this stuff that you had almost no idea that it was happening. The Great American Race was yesterday?
Daytona 500, baby.
The Daytona 500. I mean, what? And I've been yelling about this for years, and I'll tell you. But, like, where was all the what was that on? Was it on Fox?
It's on Fox, and I'll just let you know.
Why do they not tell people if this is happening?
Because to be honest with you, man, they don't need to tell people.
It's the Great American Race.
Because it's got a locked in, dedicated fan base. So you don't have to worry about it. And if you're not into race cars and NASCAR and all of that stuff, F1, Grand Prix, it doesn't matter. But all the people it matters to, believe me, they tuned in yesterday.
Yeah, but here's the problem. And I've been saying this for years, and it's their fault. Back in the day, and everyone loves when I get in one of these, back in the day, NASCAR used to have recognizable faces, recognizable drivers, people that went beyond their sport, that the mainstream fair weather sports fan, when you said that person's name, you knew that they were a NASCAR driver.
I agree with you.
Whether it was obviously Dale Earnhardt Jr., you go a little bit further, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
Look, Danica Patrick drove NASCAR as well. Like there were names associated with their sport. And when they said the name, if I gave you the run of names that were in this, like, who is this person that won? Who's this guy that won yesterday? What's his name? Who's the guy that won the Daytona 500?
I think his name is
Reddick. Reddick was his name. Reddick.
I'll come from. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Why have they not developed stars? They have no stars anymore.
I think they do have stars. I think for the national audience,
they don't have stars.
Well, it's more of it's kind of, I mean, it's always been a team. This is my opinion on it. Whereas in the years past when we were growing up, all the guys in the older days, yes, it was individual guys, that you would admire and recognize numbers and everything else. It seems to me, and we could talk about this a little bit too, which I found out yesterday, as far as, Michael Jordan, his team be involved. It's about racing teams now. And there's multiple guys.
Yeah,
and it's a little harder to necessarily track if you're just the average fan.
But that race should be about attracting the average fan. That is NASCAR's one time a year.
But I think they figured out that NASCAR's really not going to expand beyond its major base in a big way.
Yeah, but I feel like that it used to be bigger. I feel like when they had more recognizable names, you could get by. Like, even people would tune in like, oh, man, let's see who wins the Daytona. Gordon and Earnhardt, and let's go. Tony Stewart. Now it's like, who the hell are these guys?
Well, let's look at there's more options for people to tune in. And
there's more things going on too. And I completely get.
And this year, it's an Olympic year. They're competing against the Olympics. The Olympics are doing ridiculous ratings numbers. So that's another thing too. And the average sports fan or the average, house audience and stuff is most likely watching Olympics as in terms of necessarily turning over and watching NASCAR.
Right.
So, and let's put it this way. I primarily was watching the U.S.-Germany game yesterday, and that game got so boring to me that I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to check out the race. And I tuned in with about 20 laps to go.
I just think they do an extremely poor job of finding new stars and recognizable faces.
Yeah.
I just, they should at least have 2 to 4 drivers that they put in they get their face out there. They get them commercials. You couldn't, that guy who won the Daytona 500 yesterday, you couldn't pick that guy out of a lineup.
Tyler Reddick.
You couldn't pick him out of a lineup. You just couldn't.
Tyler Reddick. Daytona champion.
Nobody knows who that is.
Now you know him.
Nobody knows who that is.
And he's actually been pretty good racing. So
all right.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I can just tell you that fans of NASCAR aren't worried about
do better.
everybody else.
But if I understand the fans of NASCAR, it's just like hockey fans. We say this all the time. I'm done trying to sell people that they should watch the NHL. They're, it is what it is at this point. They're not. It's going to be hard for them to bring other people in. But I'm saying if I was the people that run NASCAR, I would be trying to develop stars to bring.
Well, I can guarantee you the
secondary
Daytona ratings
people
yesterday blew away any NHL featured game like, the Stadium Series or the Winter Classic.
Oh, that Stadium Series got a big number this year.
Yeah, you'll see them all.
What was it?
We'll
2.3,
find out the ratings.
2.4 million for the Stadium Series?
find
That game?
Daytona 500 ratings, I'll tell you right now.
I don't think they'd bet. Probably tomorrow is when they would get him out. What was last year's? You know what? Give me last year's Daytona 500 rating. What'd they do last year?
Let me
No
see.
idea who even won the race last year. That's for sure. Couldn't even tell you. It's amazing. It really is.
Let's see what we got here. 2025 Daytona 500 on Fox averaged 6.7 million viewers.
6.7?
That was last year. Marking a 13% increase from the rain delayed 2024 race.
Oh, another rain delay. Those are another one. Some of the excuses that they build in. Rain delays.
6.7.
Rain delays.
Crushing
6.7.
anything the NHL
All right.
ever does.
I will say that is true. They certainly do crush all those numbers.
The NASCAR crew promotes their sport much better than the NHL.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. That's very, very, very true.
Start your engines.
Start your engines. I just thought, wow, the Daytona 500 was yesterday. Look at that. Where did it come from? People actually got in on
it's always pretty much after the Super Bowl in February.
It's always the Sunday
every
after.
year.
I mean, pretty much always the Sunday after.
It's, like I said, if you dig racing, you know when it's on.
A lot of hockey.
Bravo to Michael Jordan getting another ring.
Good for him. Yeah. So he owns the team. He owns more than one car.
He owns the team. He's put a hell of a lot of money into it. He actually, I just found out from the greats. Let me get his name here. So I'll give him credit.
Oh,
I was hitting him up yesterday. Was
what was that?
Joe Pompliano.
Oh yeah, I saw
writer,
you tweet that.
A sports business writer, and he filled us in on Jordan invested $40 million, and the company is 2311, I guess is the team's called. And then he was just stating all this stuff. Why? Because Jordan gone to court with them, and all the books were opened.
I saw that's a big. Yeah, they had a big mess with that.
So
with him going through.
Anyway,
whatever.
He won. He's
good for him.
What are you down on MJ winning?
No, but whatever. I'm down on how they promote their sport.
Get over it, man. Don't worry about it.
Do a little more. Get people out there. Next thing I got for you is spring training. I watched Cohen this morning. The Mets owner. He did he sat in the dugout there in Port St. Lonesome and he talked to the media and he had a few things to say. Well, I'll give you some of his hits here because he had a couple of good ones for us. The first one that I'll tell you is, where is it? They asked him about, oh, here it is. We haven't won. I really want to win. Each year that goes by, I get a little more annoyed. Now, a lot of people get on Cohen because they haven't won yet. But I actually like statements like that he gets annoyed a little bit more every year because that's an owner that wants to win. And I think that when they brought the nerd in, Stearns, that was to I think he purposely brought him in to kind of settle him down a little bit because I think that Cohen would have kept spending probably even equal to or more than the Dodgers because he wants to win so badly.
Yeah.
But we know that sometimes, I think he came in and I think it was Cohen's second year. Scherzer, Verlander, they threw all this money at everybody. And
let's not forget, he dropped a lot of money last year with Soto. So,
well, right. It's not like the guy cried poor. He gave a guy $750 million. So, I mean, it's not like, again, he's not crying poor. But my thing is, you want your owner to say things like I'm annoyed. I want to win. Let's go.
The reason I brought that up is that the year before that, he didn't have Soto's contract on his books, right?
Right.
So
right.
What they did this offseason, I would have to say, in addition to Stearns and all that other stuff, I think it's just
I think that Stearns, Stearns is a guy coming from Milwaukee. He's obviously never gotten to play in a sandbox like this where he does have money to work with. He's usually
I know, but
pairing
he
money
might not
off.
have gotten the usual amount of money from Cohen that he might have gotten maybe prior to Soto.
I don't think so. Because they did still spend money. But they were willing to give Tucker a ton of money. They gave Bichette a good amount of money.
But
they
were
signed a few
short-term
other
deals,
guys.
though.
But that's kind of where baseball is now. There's the Soto thing
We
is
forget
very
too
rare.
that they're supposed to. We think the league's going to get shut down next year.
Well,
Too,
that's
so.
also a problem.
Yeah.
So everyone's scared of that, which is why you're also seeing all the ones with an opt out or 2 years with one opt out, and everybody's trying to get out. It's just in case all those things happen.
Everybody better enjoy it.
But I like a guy say, I'm annoyed we're not winning. Like I want that kind of and when I listen to the other side of town.
Oh, come on. They say that all the time.
Yeah, but he doesn't say it with the same passion.
Well, we don't have to say it because we
I watch this guy say it and I'm like, yeah, this guy, he cares. The other guy, it's just like he's just
we get into the playoffs all the time. The Mets don't.
He's such a suit. And he sits there and there's always a bottom line and a budget and all. That's just that's bothers me.
We're gonna have a fun baseball season.
Bothers me with this guy.
Now.
It really does. But what can you do? The other thing he said, which I thought was kind of interesting, is they asked him about if he's going to name a new team captain. Everybody loves this stuff. Judge is the captain of the Yankees, and Wright was the captain of the Mets, and all. And I think that people thought that Lindor would be like the next Met captain or something. So Cohen said, "quote As long as I'm owning the team, there will never be a team captain."
Really?
That was my decision.
Really?
Yeah.
I was unaware.
Yep. He said there will never be a team captain as long as I own the team.
And his reason for that is?
He just says that's the way that I'm doing things. He goes, not everybody in baseball, this is not a common thing to have team captains. I don't want team captains.
All right.
So another one, putting the foot down. The boss says this is how it is. And a lot of people today have taken this as a shot at Lindor, which I don't think you should do. It sounds like this is more of like a general, I don't want to put that on somebody, or that stuff gets a little tricky with the fans too, Paulie, because, hockey, it's so common because every team's had captains for, what's the one thing you say when you trade? Oh, you're trading away our captain. He's usually a fan favorite. There could be some attachment there that could make you be upset with the team and ownership if you were to get rid of that guy in an unsavory situation.
Captain or not, I mean, the Mets fans are really disappointed about, obviously, some of the offseason moves here so far.
I think that they finished strong, though. I know at the beginning they were, but I think that the stuff that they did towards the end, they made some moves towards the end to shore up their team.
Who has more pressure on them if they have a disappointing season? The Yankees running it back, or the Mets who have made the changes?
Well, I think that I don't think there's any pressure on the Yankees because they're not going. Nobody's going anywhere there. So I don't like. I'll give you an example. I think that the guy with the most pressure in terms of if you took both managers and both GMs in town, I think that out of those four, the guy with the most pressure could lose his job by the end of the season if it doesn't. Is Mendoza is the Met manager? I think that he absolutely the most because I don't think Boone's under any pressure.
No,
Boone's here for Boone might as well be here for life. So.
No, I think Boone's got.
Now look, if the Yankees
probably got one more year,
the Yankees win 70 and 90 this year, then yeah, I mean he's going to be in trouble. But they're not going to do that. They're going to win their 90 games.
Term? Has he got 1 year left or 2 years? I don't think he has.
I think that they gave him 3 before last year.
So more than anything, he's at 2. But look,
but it doesn't matter. They're always 3-year deals. So they'll give him a little bit more.
The Yankees are going to be solid. They're going to be solid and steady. So
of course they are. Why wouldn't they? They're the Yankees.
Garrett looked good on the mound, man. Huh?
You see him out there throwing?
He looks a little focused.
He's into it. He's ready to go. They're ready for a new season. I'm ready. You're ready.
Watching the college baseball starting off.
I saw the kid hit the foot. He hit 3 or 4 grand slams in one game.
Yep. A couple teams putting up some serious runs. 31 runs there.
That's another sport that they give. I mean, you can't.
Well, they go
find college baseball.
That's right, and all the beat writers and people covering college baseball were just giving it to ESPN. They missed out on so much. A lot of attendance records were broken this weekend too. Opening days.
That's great that people coming out and watching. But I mean, it is not the only time you really see college baseball on TV is when College World Series when you get towards the end. I mean, nobody really.
And they give the Little League the Little League World Series a ton of coverage too, man.
They do that. They give them a ton of coverage. But other than that, there really wasn't too much earth-shattering stuff. He said on the Dodgers, they're formidable. They have the ability to spend. And then he said, so do I, by the way. That tells me that he wants to go and spend, and they put the nerd there to kind of settle him down and to make smart baseball decisions and not just throw cash into the fire, like just throw it around. Because he is, again, when you're worth $10 billion, it's just throw it around.
Well, the landscape, I think.
I like that, which I can, by the way. I like that he put that at the end, which I can.
Well, if you look at, did you see Machado's interview?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up to you next.
So he says everybody has it. Now, they all have the money.
I agree with him.
I do too. I thought it was phenomenal.
I think that most of these teams and most of these teams and most of these owners who cry poor are putting money in their pocket. They're pulling a profit. And look, do I think that every team can spend like that? No. I mean, look, Tampa and Pittsburgh probably couldn't have a $500 million payroll. I don't think that they could swing that. But could they spend a hell of a lot more than they're spending right now? Oh, yeah, they can. Oh, yeah, they could do that. So Manny's right about that.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a great interview. I also,
he's a big Players Association guy, too, so he wants to put out there.
He's a veteran. And I also think with the backdrop of this potential shutdown, that was probably one of the most brazen interviews I've seen a professional athlete do.
Right.
Cursing like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just laying it all out. Not worried about any kind of consequences. Like, because you can sit there watching, go, oh my God, what did he say? It's like on national TV. But he had no F's to give.
And he's one of the guys that actually is like that. He's a no F's to give guy.
But the Dodgers have swallowed up pretty much all the best talent that's been really available, right? And then,
I mean, you could make a case they signed the two biggest, have Tucker and Diaz signing them.
So who's if we're looking at next year or the next 2 years, I mean, everybody's kind of been locked up. It's almost similarly happened in the NHL too. And this reflects back to the Rangers a little bit because Drury thought these guys were going to be available now. And all these guys got signed to long-term deals. There's nobody really going to be available. So it's also the same, I think, on the baseball end. Baseball end too.
There is a little bit of that, but there's a ton of uncertainty after this year. There really is. They might not start Edmund on time next year.
That's what I'm saying. Watch every pitch this year and enjoy it. Get to as many games as you can this year.
It could be the end for a while.
Then we're gonna have to all watch NASCAR next year.
But hey, why don't they just, if that happens, why don't they just do another? I know while everybody will watch.
Maybe that's what NASCAR
and PGA.
They're waiting for the MLB shutdown, and then they're gonna take over.
NASCAR and PGA. Everybody get in on that and get themselves cooking there for it. Jeez, the World Baseball Classic starts rather soon.
Yes. Did you see the promo I sent you?
Saw the promo.
Did it get you moving?
I brought that up. They were very exciting. Very exciting. You know what I think is I will say this, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, and I'll watch it when it happens, obviously, because I got to watch everything. But I do like that it's not dragged out. I mean, they play the entire thing in about a week and a half. Yeah. You go and look at that schedule that you said that they lay out for it. I mean, even the games they're going to play in Tokyo. They're gonna play them and get them over. It is
sock 'em baseball.
That first weekend, they're playing everybody's playing 3-4 games. Bang, flip them around. Whoever advances, get them in the next place. Let's go 3 games, and then the championship. It's quick,
and it means a lot to especially all the Latin American countries.
Oh, well, they look at how they fill that Miami Stadium, which no one ever goes for the Marlins.
Japan wants this thing,
and you can't get a seat for this in Miami.
No.
And meanwhile, the Marlins, it's sit behind the dugout for $5 a Marlin game. But that World Baseball Classic, it is stacked, standing room only in that place.
Get excited, Mike. Get excited.
I do like that it's quick. See, I could get into it because it's only like a week and a half commitment, so I can I'll like it a little bit more. And I know Judge is in there, and we want to get excited about Judge, so we do all of that stuff too. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Of course, different schedule this week, Monday and Friday, for us. No Wednesday and Thursday this week. Next week we'll be back to the regular times. Let's give us a little bit more about Borrelli's. And then when we come back, Paulie, I want to ask you, because it sounded like you told me you did watch. I know we've done a lot of I can't believe people have actually watched this today. But the NBA All-Star Game, an event that people have been swearing off, it sounds like everyone really enjoyed it last night. So when we come back, I want to get into that a little. Tell us about Borrelli's.
All right, I did get a couple updates. That's why I want to get back into this again real quick. So, again, just first, I'll just start off again. The comedy series returns here tomorrow night, Tuesday, with Kat Tim. She'll be here tomorrow night. That's the 17th. Wednesday, the 25th of February, is Pete Coriel. And then on Tuesday, March 10th, Ben Bankus will be here. And again, go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com or go to Eventbrite and search Borrelli's for all the comedy ticket sales. All right, check that out. Theme music nights here at Borrelli's return Tuesday, February 24th. That's next week, with songs from an Italian restaurant featuring the greatest hits of Billy Joel. A $21 pasta meal, get half-price bottles of wine, and obviously the great songs of Billy Joel. Returning on Wednesday, March 4th, is Sinatra Serenade, and that features the greatest hits of Frank Sinatra and great dinner specials that night. Again, wine specials and signature drinks that Frank Sinatra used to love, signature meals that Frank Sinatra used to eat as well, too. So check that out. Now, live music has been updated for this week, and I just got it here on Saturday, February 21st. Derek Adams is going to be here. He'll be starting at 7 p.m., and then DJ TM Select will close out the night at 10 o'clock here at Borrelli's. And then Sunday Funday returns here with the Select at 6 p.m. on the 22nd. So that's this weekend's live music coming up here at Borrelli's. And again, just come down here for all the great stuff. Don't forget, on Thursday nights, it's now Carnivore Night here too as well at $60.
Carnivore
you get, a choice of entree, salad, dessert. You get a glass of wine. And that's all brand new here. There's veal, steak, and I think a pork main entree for that. So make sure you come down to Borrelli's on Thursday nights.
Carnivore.
For the Carnivore Night, baby. There you go. So that's what's happening here at Borrelli's this week. And again, we are going to be back here on Friday, and we'll tell you more about what's going on. And there will be more
hockey semis on Friday.
Yeah, more events here coming up at Borrelli's, including pasta night specials coming up, more music, more comedy, and again, the rest of the Olympics. And hey, man, March Madness is getting close too, and this is going to be a place to be to watch March Madness as well.
Good win for the Johnnies on Saturday against Providence, a team that they usually
they showed a bit of
struggle
fight.
with.
They ain't taking over.
Yeah, you had a little bit of that going on.
Look what
as
Rick
well.
Pitino is doing with this franchise, man.
Yeah,
he's a winner, baby.
Yeah, no, he's
come on, man. You gotta love it.
I believe me, I'm rooting for him. Nothing when they can get on a little bit of a run, the whole town gets behind them. So I really hope that does happen and that they continue to win. I told you last week that they're a week from Wednesday. They got the big rematch with UConn up at their place. Big East tournament about a week or two after that, and then the big dance. And we'll see if they can keep winning and they can get things done here. All right, NBA All-Star Weekend happened. And look, this event has changed a lot. We discussed this last week. They've been tinkering with this. They've been trying to find the right thing. It's become a bit of a farce. Forget Saturday night, which is still a joke. You can't, again, it's like you don't even know who these guys are in the slam dunk contest. Like the Johnson kid won.
The slam dunk contest got reamed.
It got reamed. It was really bad. It was a bad scene for them because, again, they don't, none of these guys, these big stars have the stones to step in and do it. And that's why you have a problem. And that's why the event sucks. And even even the 3-point contest, you had a guy who's not even playing this year winning, Damian Lillard. He's not even playing. He's out for the year. And he won the 3-point contest. But Sunday, Paulie, the game, which was USA versus the world with 2 USA teams. I gave you the stars and stripes in the world. A little mini tournament. They played a round robin, and then the 2 teams played for the championship at the end. I will tell you right now, I did not watch a second of it. 0.0 of the NBA All-Star game. Wasn't interested, never ever. But I will say, last night when I'm sitting down and I'm kind of going through everything that's happened, I'm going, wow, there's a lot of positive feedback about this game. People, and there's one thing that I actually think, there's 2 things, but there's one that's a really big one. One, it seemed like for more than usual, the players And that's always the biggest thing. You got some buy-in from the players, which
They were having fun.
and I think that was partially because the players spent 2 or 3 days in LA basically being told, you guys have ruined this event. You're the guys that screwed this up. You guys show up and you don't care. You guys, and I think a few guys actually took that with a little chip on their shoulder and came out and wanted to play. I think that that's one thing that really helped them yesterday. And the other thing that really helped them and why they got so much social media presence and so much positive feedback is they did something that I also thought was much needed. They started that thing at 5 o'clock East yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas especially the past few years, when it was on TNT, like 8:30 Sunday night, starting it, ending around midnight. Again, this is a thing you want a younger audience. You want people to watch the game. They started at 5. I never seen them get as much juice as they got yesterday. And I think it's because the players actually showed that they cared and they had a little chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, some of that, I'm sure. But I have to tell you, I did like the shorter games.
Right. They did too.
Yeah, and I liked because it opened things up because they really played what I think was fun basketball.
Right.
And they just kind of enjoyed themselves, and the players were intense about it. And I thought the interactiveness with the audience, the place was packed. It was sold out.
Yeah.
That is some arena, man.
The Intuit Dome.
Whoa. That thing is gorgeous.
Were they showing like the one side where it's like the wall there, the fans go up on the wall,
that ring around the top, part of the introductions.
Yeah. It's something else.
Man, John Tesh was out there rocking with his band.
I did see that clip. They had the round ball rock with Tesh out there.
So this is my opinion of it. For a guy who's not watching NBA every night, I enjoyed the basketball. I thought it was fun, and that's what kept me watching it. And I like the mix. And it was, we've gotten a little bit of taste of this with the NHL when they've broken it up, the All-Star game, having different teams play each other and everything else.
Right.
So for me, I thought it worked.
Okay.
Now we'll get to see what the ratings are, obviously, in the next couple of days.
I would think that because I'm sorry, you can move that. I apologize. I think that because the earlier start, and I think that they might have had people start to tune in because they might have saw, wow, people are saying this is cool. Let me turn it on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 10 o'clock at night
and
for people to do that. And it's
I kept it on.
And I think that that's the biggest thing that will probably give them a better number. And also NBC network over cable, NBC instead of
NBC's
TNT.
on a little bit of a hot streak here.
I think that this was a smart thing for the NBA to get back on NBC and to get back in.
They're saying it about baseball too.
Well, they are now, if they have cornered the Sunday night market. Because they now we know that they have Sunday night football, which takes them from September all the way through February.
Mm-hmm.
They have now that the NFL's over, they're going to be doing Sunday night NBA. I'm sure they promoted that 6,000 times, right? Yeah. So they're going to have games on Sunday nights. And then when the NBA ends, the playoffs are over, they will do Sunday night baseball, June, July, August, and until NFL starts again. So they have now pretty much booked the entire 12 months of the calendar with some kind of sporting event on a Sunday night, making them kind of the network Sunday night, NFL, MLB, NBA, that they're going to have a game on. And I think a smart move by them.
This is good stuff. Hey, did you see that, back to baseball real quick, the report yesterday about them not showing the balls and strike count on TV?
And that's because you have the dopey challenge system now where you're allowed to get the review off of the, they tap the head. The pitcher can go like this, and they could go and review.
Is it going to be for every batter, or is it limited?
I'm sure I haven't dove into this yet, but I think it's limited. You can only do it a certain amount of times per game. And if maybe it's one of these things like challenges where you get it right, you get to keep it. I don't know exactly.
So we all have to at home now have to bring the books out.
Well,
look, they're going to put it on the phones?
They'll probably have some. They'll keep you out. Well, they only got one challenge left. I'm sure it's something like that. But they will put it on your screen when someone challenges. But they have the days of them putting that box up and showing you where. I think that's where they're going to be.
I guess you can go back and forth in terms of the
importance of it,
be done with it, right? If you're watching the game.
Now, there's some guy. Did you see Chris Sale?
Are they going to put it up in the stadiums?
Yes.
Count?
Yes. Right. Well, they're going to put the count on the screen. They're not going to put the box that shows you if it was inside or outside on the pitch.
Gotcha.
So you'll still see like Yankees 5, Red Sox 4, 3-2 count, 2 outs. You know how they would show you the box right
That's
there
gone.
and you would see if the ball was way out of the box? You're not going to see that anymore.
You know what? I like that.
Did you see Sale?
So I misunderstood it. I thought they were getting rid of the count.
No. They're getting rid of.
I got to read a little
the
more.
box that shows you if it was in or outside.
Instead of just scrolling.
They want it. They don't want anybody to get an advantage in terms of where the ball is. If they see it on a television screen,
understood,
to be able to then go up, challenge that. They want it to be a split-second thing. Like if the hitter or the pitcher thinks it's a challengeable, they want it done off of that and not getting all the extra.
That
looks.
Works for me.
Sale said, "I'm not doing it."
Who?
Chris Sale from the Braves, pitcher. He goes, the umps are out there. He goes, I'm not challenging. He goes, if my catcher really wants to go and do it, he goes, I'm not doing it. This is a human element. He hates
I
it.
did see it.
Hates it.
Yes.
Hates that they are doing this. He's an old school guy. Do I believe him? Will he not? If there's one that's way on the plate that they call a ball, will he tap his head and ask for the review?
Well, that'll be
after that big statement that he made the other day of, I'm not doing it. I'm not. The umps are there to call the game. I'm there to pitch. That's what he said.
All right.
I don't believe him. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't believe me.
Now, I think the catcher can be like, yeah, I want to challenge that.
They have the communication too, right? They can speak to each other.
Well, they have the all that is tells you ball, tells you inside, outside, what pitch, things like that. I don't think that you could go out to the mound and talk to him, but I thought that was cool from Sale. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
All right, we'll see.
I'm not gonna.
We'll see if he
challenge.
Sticks to his word.
We did have also some NFL news this morning, and I know that you're very upset about this.
Well, you saw that. I already forgot that the Seahawks won Super Bowl.
I did see you tweet that. It was that bad of a game that it was only a week has gone by and nobody cares. It's just like, what an awful game it was. And then you just end up with that. The Dolphins will be releasing Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Of course, he got hurt this year. He didn't finish the season. Obviously McDaniel's out. It sounds like maybe Tua is going to be out too. It saves him $22.5 million on the salary cap. Does he have anything left? I don't know. I would absolutely take a shot on him, but somebody's probably going to give him some money. I would have to think, and thinking that he still has some gas.
Dude, there are more than enough teams that will take on his services.
I agree with that.
There's absolutely, he's going to get a job. It's not, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all.
I don't think it's going to be an issue either for him. But I'm just saying, I don't know if he made big money with Miami. And I saw somebody bring this up this morning. Like, man, I know he got paid, and at the end of the day, that's what you probably care about. But how different are people thinking about him if he had just stayed in Kansas City and was with the Chiefs the last few years and won maybe another 1 or 2 more Super Bowls and had Mahomes start? Like, how much different?
We all make decisions, Mike.
And he made a money decision and a lifestyle decision.
The other thing with the Giants, you had when there was all this talk about Harbaugh getting the job.
Yeah,
you were way out front saying it's going to be Harbaugh's team, right?
Yep.
And it's really just come out in the last couple of days.
Finding that tweet you sent me. Well, Twitter's been down.
It's really, I see that.
This problem with Twitter all day. Can't get on it.
It's really panned out that way.
Well, this Dawn Aponte, who's going to be she's like going to be running everything, and she's going to be the one reporting to Harbaugh. And you sent me, I think, the Pat Leonard tweet about it, and Pat has been out front with what Joe Shane's role is going to be too.
Yeah.
And Pat was like, this guy basically is just the head of scouting. and I will make a prediction for you, because I've seen this happen in the NFL before. Happened with my team when McDermott was hired.
Mm-hmm.
They kept Doug Whaley as the GM through the draft, and then they let him go after the draft. Because in the NFL, your scouting department and your draft prep, you're talking, it's a whole year process.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of know who's on the board. You have September, all these college games, September, October, November, December, now playoff. You have the Senior Bowl, the scout, the combine, the private workouts. It's a process that it's hard to throw somebody into out of nowhere. And listen, teams do it. They fire GMs at the end of the year. They bring in new ones in. But when you read that report, and it's just like Joe Shane's basically just, running the scouting. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if after the draft is when they go, all right, Joe, you're out. And someone that Harbaugh wants is in.
But pretty brilliant how this has been
a slow
rollout
design and rollout.
He was there, a big part of the introductory press conference, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Then all that attention goes away, and now you can just
it just kind of gets. It's just kind of I like it. Kind of under the radar. Oh, by the way, this is how the chain of command is at the Giants now.
You're gonna ask for a call for a beer in the stands. You can turn around holding that tray,
and that's how it goes. And I think after the draft, he'll be out. They will take him out, and maybe he's still there. But even if he stays, you now know that he has no juice. He's got no juice whatsoever. And if you know what, if he's gonna make a pretty penny either way, whether they fire him or not, he's gonna get money.
Yeah,
but. That was very telling, and I told you, you're right. He was going to come in, and he's the sheriff of that organization now.
Man, right
and that's Joe Shane works for John Harbaugh, not the other way around. Yeah. And in fact, it sounds like now Joe Shane works for Donna Pop. That's what Joe Shane works for, and then she will go and tell Harbaugh what's going on with everything. That's kind of the way of the world in there with the New York Giants and their football team. You got a good one tonight, by the way, in college hoops. This is a tough couple of days. This is really the mid-February. Thank God you've got the Olympics and the hockey going on because there's no NBA till Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously no NHL because everybody's at the Olympics. So really all you have the next couple nights in terms of live action is college hoops. That's it. And you get a really good one with Houston and Iowa State this evening. Iowa State coming off a win over Kansas on Saturday, which was a nice win for them. And now they're at home tonight against Houston, who's ranked second in the country now. They're 23-2. Iowa State's number 6 in the country at 22-3. So really good. You got nothing else going on tonight. Saying, what is there for sports? This is off, that's off, that's off. 9:00 East, Houston and Iowa State. Hell of a college basketball game that you have.
Can I make an observation, comment here, and maybe we can get your feedback on it?
Sure.
So, we're all familiar with ESPN's, college football game day, right?
Yes.
So they have a similar
show
for basketball.
They sure do.
And they set it up on the basketball court.
Yeah, it ain't the same.
And I got to tell you, it is awful.
It's bad.
From the guy bringing the blackboard out in the gym, the echo in the gym with the
they should scrap it.
Yeah.
It's not the same. College
football. A couple hundred people on the benches behind them.
College football, that show that they do on ESPN, the game day show where you have all the fans behind them. It's because it's so different because there's only a few games. There's only 12 games in the season. There's only so many opportunities every game. There's 35 college basketball games during the year. There's no one regular season game that has the kind of juice that you would need for that. They put them inside the gym where sometimes there's a couple people there and sometimes there's nobody.
All good people involved with the show. They just have to put them in a better situation.
There's a couple people.
I know, but the production is the primary thing.
But it's they've tried to recreate the football show and also the personalities aren't the same, whether it's McAfee and Herb Street and all the guys that they have doing the football. Saban. And Coach Saban, they got nobody like Coach Saban on the pads, but they've had this problem forever with it. They never can match what they have over there.
Coach Saban has been one of the most incredible additions to especially, college football analysts.
Right.
He's just amazing. He really, really is.
He knows his stuff. He's one of the all-time greats. All right, Paulie, great job here today.
Bobsledding's going on.
Bobsled. These guys are all maniacs.
They're all going. Girls
are all maniacs. Is that another cheating curling Canadian team over there in the middle?
Swiss following just the Swiss right now.
Okay, Swiss. They don't cheat.
Barreling down the mountain.
Yeah, they're barreling down.
Keep an eye on those Canadians, though.
Remember, we're back on Friday this week, which is the day of the semis. One of the games will be on while we're on. So the semis are.
Hey, hold on. The boss is chiming in.
Okay, we'll see. There you go. Could be a special guest here on Friday. Might have a special guest on Friday for the game.
Okay.
We'll see. Now, if which we think the United States is going to win, I believe they will play at 3:00 on Friday.
It's terrible that you have to say if.
I say it'll be against Finland. You say it'll be against Slovakia. So we shall see. But they're going to have a very tough game Wednesday against Sweden. And if they get through that, I hope it's Slovakia, but I think it's going to be Finland that they play on Friday.
And just a closing note here, too. Place was rocking here at Borrelli's for the U.S.-Germany game.
Cal have a good time, Mike? Cal was here. Was here. They had a great time on Sunday. Oh, I'm sure he was. He was a big hit. All right. Love it. So we're back on Friday. Semis for the men's hockey tournament. 2 games right here at Borrelli's. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to have a great time back here noon East on Friday for both of those. Enjoy all the games. You got 4 games tomorrow, 4 games Wednesday in the hockey as well. And we've whittled down who's going to be here.
Friday,
Lots to talk about on Friday. Go Sports Radio, Mike Carver, Paul Cuthbert here at Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Great day. Enjoy all the hockey.